we had an amazing moment with him yesterday, um, and I'm excited for today. It feels like it's a nice um, chill moment before all the excitement. So let me um, let me hand it over to him. And as long as you know that you're upside down, we are all good.
Ah, damn, I'm upside down. Okay. Yeah, the room that I was doing it in yesterday, there's some loud sewer mischief going down. So if I'm upside down to y'all, that actually makes it kind of fun and interesting. So why not?
I was okay with it if you were okay with it. I just figured
I
you should know.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't mind being upside down.
Okay, fair.
It kind of changes perspective on things. All right. Well, good afternoon, all you beautiful beautifuls. My name is Arya Zarrinkelk, and I am an arts focused career person at the community college here in San Francisco. So I have the honor and privilege of coaching web graphic design, video, audio production, fashion, cinema, and photography students to find opportunities in the Bay Area outside of the school ecosystem. When I'm not doing that, I play bass in a music project called Manos Lindas, which means beautiful hands in Spanish. And I am connected to Balanced Breakfast through just the grace of divine work. And as I mentioned before yesterday, for those who are tuning in, that I'm super grateful for Stefan Aronson and all the work that he's done with Balanced Breakfast, because without Balanced Breakfast, there would be no Manos Lindas in its current formation. And I kind of have a sense that all of us who are here in this summit in some way, shape, or form feel the same way, that the presence of Balanced Breakfast and the roots that it allows us to connect to has really helped all of us really blossom and really grow in our music projects. And so I just want to always start with gratitude for Stefan and to Balanced Breakfast and all those who do work for Balanced Breakfast for free, because it is free. And yeah, many applausos for them. So let's just take a moment and just throw some applause, either virtual, you could do it around, you could throw some hearts, you could throw some jazz hands, whatever works. Because I know Stefan works really, really hard to make all this stuff happen. And so many emails and text messages and Facebook messages, and I'm sure tweets and Instagram messages and all the coordinations. My gosh, all the coordinations. And so that takes a lot of work. So yesterday's grounding was steeped in something that happened in the past. And it was about acknowledging two or three different experiences. The first experience being the first time you ever physically connected with the tool, your sacred tool that you use for making music, be it an instrument, be it a computer, be it your voice, whatever it was. It was about connecting with that, and how in that moment you ended up making a deep, intimate commitment and promise to yourself and to the universe to use that tool to liberate yourself and ease the suffering of self and others whenever and wherever possible. And then we've shifted into reflecting on, from that moment, all the experiences that you went through when you were trying to then start sharing that light with others. And you started reaching out to others, and all the people that started saying no because they didn't know who you were yet. And you didn't have anything to, I guess, for lack of a better term, prove what you had going on. And how those no's didn't stop you, and how those no's kind of made you kept going forward and made you want to keep moving. And then we ended with coming and acknowledging and remembering and celebrating that one person who said yes to you without knowing anything about you, without knowing anything about the sounds that you create, without having any physical, tangible thing to go on outside of just this person has come to me, they seem enthusiastic and stoked. Let's say yes to them and watch their magic blossom. So I just wanted to kind of, for those who weren't there, just to give them context for what we did yesterday, because it's a very interesting exercise to do. And today's thing will be, and I call it a thing because I don't really know what else to call it. Today's thing will be, I think, a little shorter and more grounded into the intention of manifestation is to ground into the present moment, and then also to take maybe 1 or 2 steps into the future. So I invite you to join me in this, I guess we'll call it a meditation for a lack of a better term. And if you've never meditated before, I want to tell you that there is no right or wrong way to meditate. There are just some invitations and suggestions that I'm going to make for you. The major thing to do is just listen to yourself breathing, or you can listen to the sound of my voice, okay? So you can start by either standing or sitting. If you're seated in a chair, make sure you come to the edge of your seat and feet flat on the floor. If you are seated in a cushion like I am right now, feel free to just sit cross-legged on the ground if that works for you. And so if you're seated in a chair, I'm going to just kind of make some invitations for alignment. So your feet are flat on the floor. Your feet are about hips distance apart. And just to give you context, this is about how big hips distance is. For those of you who always wonder, it's literally like 2 fists. And then knees are aligned with ankles. Ankles are aligned with hips. And then your hips are in alignment with your shoulders. So try to find a nice tall spine. And then just make sure your shoulders are relaxed, right? Sometimes we see images of people meditating and then all of a sudden it looks like they've got their angel wings, flex it really hard, right? And that's the intention, is to be as relaxed as possible to gain the wisdom from the universe through the meditations. So try not to make sure your shoulders are slumpy or they're like too far back, just nice and relaxed, creamy middle, as I like to refer to it. And then make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. So if you want to move it a little bit around to the side, you can absolutely do that. Don't get too crazy, but just whatever feels good, so you get some fluid going through there. And then when you're ready, just gently close your eyes and bring your chin a little bit towards your chest, maybe not all the way, just a little bit. And we're going to begin with 3 deep inhales and exhales in and out the nose. So let's begin with a deep inhale. Deep exhale. Deeper inhale. Deeper exhale. Deepest inhale. Hold at the top. Deepest exhale. Because so many of us do music in addition to things we do to pay the rent, we are hardly ever in the present moment. I observe, myself included, that we are usually in the future, thinking about what's the next thing that I have to do? Where am I going? What's the next strategic move? And whenever we leave the present moment, we leave the light and love that is flow state, and mischief just comes into our minds. So now I'm going to invite us to sit in the light and love of this present moment, and I will guide us through that. Earth Day is about a week away, and so I want you to take a moment and acknowledge the ground underneath your feet. I want you to recognize that this ground beneath your feet, be it in your apartment or your home, is connected to the earth. And that part of the earth is connected to the crust of the earth. And it goes all the way down to the crystalline lava core of the earth. And every day, I personally am so grateful that this beautiful planet supports us and allows us to have this experience that is life, and this experience that is creating music in life. I invite you now to start feeling the energy from the center of the earth make its way from the molten core through the lower crust, through the tectonic plates, through the upper crust, making its way to ground level, wherever you are, wherever you're living right now. That energy is making its way through the building that you exist in, coming right directly and immediately into the soles of your feet. And if you're seated cross-legged, it's coming into the pinky edge of your feet. Feel that beautiful cradle, cradling sensation that the earth is providing you right now. Start making its way through your toes and start swirling around in your ankles, making its way up the front of the shins and the sides and the back of the calf. Feel the beautiful love and warmth of Mother Earth making its way into your kneecaps, swirling around and healing any knee issues for those of us who play music and dance and stand around. Feel that same wonderful golden light and love make its way into your legs, starting into the quadriceps and then into the IT bands, then the inner thighs and the hamstrings. This energy now makes its way into the hip sockets and the pelvis area and swirling around in a counterclockwise circle, bringing the energy through this very special area of the body where creativity emanates from. Begin to feel this beautiful, wonderful energy, this creative energy make its way in a bright orange light from your pelvis upwards into your solar plex area and eventually into your heart center. And feel that energy move up from the pelvis to the front part of the body to the center of the chest and then also doing so on the sides of the torso and from the lower back all the way to the upper back. This beautiful, loving warmth is now making its way from the heart center into your shoulders and moving down the arms. After swirling around in the shoulders, it makes its way through the biceps and the triceps. It swirls around a little bit in the elbows as well. Through this swirling, it's healing any of the elbow joint pain that we as musicians who use our arms may feel when we play. This holding of space for us from Mother Earth makes its way into your forearms and your wrists and swirls around through the wrist joints and starts making its way into each individual finger. Feel this gift of support from Mother Earth make its way into your thumbs, your index fingers, your middle fingers, your ring fingers, and your pinkies. The pinkies are very, very important on the hands. And then this energy continues to make its way from the pinkies back up the arms into the throat and the back of the neck. It starts swirling and swirling and swirling in a counterclockwise manner, freeing up your throat. For those of you who sing, you know how important the energy from the larynx is. So feel it strengthen and fortify that part of your body. This energy now softly and gently makes its way into your jaw, and your mouth, and your tongue, and then to the upper part of the mouth, the ears, makes its way into the nose, the back of the skull. And then this energy makes its way into those beautiful, beautiful eyes of each and every one of us. And then making its way into the middle of your forehead, eventually making its way to the top of the head. Now you sense this energy spinning outward through the top of your head into the sky, connecting you and reminding you that you are a vessel between heaven and earth, the divine and the physical, the spiritual and the here and now. In this moment, when you are rooted between earth and above, below and above, I invite you to recall a piece of wisdom that resonated, that connected with yesterday when you were at the summit. I invite you to recall the face of that beautiful, beautiful being that shared their wisdom with you, that made you hear it, and you immediately had an aha moment where the light shone upon a dark spot that had never been discovered before. What did this being say? How did this being say it? How did it make you feel? What ideas came to mind when they shared their wisdom and their experience with you? And now that you have this person's presence with you, please take a moment and thank them. Express gratitude for sharing their wisdom with you, or it will emanate outwards to all those others you come into contact with. Lastly, in this wonderful present moment where we have acknowledged wisdom we received, I invite you to set an intention for tonight's experience at the summit. What is it that you want to learn about? Who is it that you want to connect with? What gifts and resources do you have to share with others? And this intention and manifestation can be as large and as wild as you want it to be, and it can be as small and as quiet as you want it to be. It is your intention and yours alone. Now I invite you to send this intention simultaneously out the crown of your head and through the soles of your feet into the sky and into the earth, rooting you here in this present moment with this intention. In doing so, you know this will come to pass, for you have honored what's below you and what holds you, and you honored what's above you, the unknown. And now we will close with 3 deep inhales and exhales, in and out the nose, the final one being out the mouth. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Deeper inhale, deeper exhale. Final deepest inhale. Hold. Final deepest exhale out the mouth. And whenever you're ready, just gently flutter the eyes open. And come back to this beautiful community of people that's awaiting you. Thank you so much. My name is Arya Zarrinkelk. I play music in a band called Manos Lindas, and I'm super grateful to Stefan for inviting me to open up day 2 of the summit.
I appreciate you so much. Can we? I know we're gonna break some pretty chill time, but can we cheer for that? Like, if I just, you can unmute and just say like, that was really cool.
That was really cool.
I, hope you'll hang
Thank
out
you
with
so
us.
much.
Yeah, I hope you'll hang out with us all the whole time.